What's up, my rotund little rankpers? This is Rob from Gay Guy Plays, and today on the Daily Grind, we're back with another installment of Rob reads you shit that you don't want to read yourself. And today we're actually going to be taking a look at the weapon stats and mastery limits. Now, yesterday I went ahead and read you the majority of all of the patch notes, and that was like 40 plus minutes. If you guys missed that and want to run something in the background while you go ahead and hunt down your coolage, I will leave that linked up there. Now, a lot of this is actually taken from the dev workshop that I also went ahead and covered, and I will also link up there as well as down in the description box below. But this is actually going to include all of the mastery rank changes that have been made to weapons, as well as their damage boosts and any statistical things that go along with it. So that's going to be the majority of what we take a look at today. Now, I did want to touch on a couple highlights just to remind you guys, because there are a lot of things that have changed with Melee. So of course we have the combo counter rework. The combo counter will be getting a new functionality pass. Rather than just providing flat bonuses to damage, the combo counter will now also act as an expendable resource for new heavy hitting combat heavy attacks. This will replace Channeling's key binding, and section 7 below covers those changes. This counter will be increased in a more granular and rapid way and can be built by using melee attacks, blocking damage, radial damage from slam attacks, and hits from a thrown weapon such as a glaive. So they've gone ahead and changed a whole bunch of the mods to kind of reflect that as well. But I definitely wanted to go ahead and highlight that because there is going to be a little bit of a focus on that when it comes to the weapons. Now, when it comes to changes to slam attacks, the ragdoll effect of the slam attack is being removed with some weapon-specific exceptions: cough, jack-a-tag, cough. However, it is being replaced with an effect that will push enemies back or knock them down, giving the player some breathing room and setting the enemy units up for following attacks. Melee Rework Phase 1 introduced the global use of ragdoll effects on slam attacks, so this is the second item to be rolled back and will be replaced with a better way to rain down death from above. Also, all melee weapons have received an updated slam FX, and come on, slam attack, and welcome to the jam. What? Come on and slam and welcome. That's a Space Jam reference. It's too early for you to be bringing up that kind of stuff. But I actually do like this change big time, because when you go ahead and slam down on the ground, previous you would knock enemies all over the place, and you guys know I feel like that gets really, really messy. Enemies are thrown way too far from you, and really, especially with some of the changes that they've made to range, you don't want enemies to be too far. You want them to be like grouped up, so a nice little knockdown instead of a rag doll is always better. I also wanted to go ahead and highlight replacing channeling with heavy attacks and the lifted status. Channeling will be saying its final farewells in Melee Rework Phase 2 update, and instead is being replaced with a new form of heavy attack as well as a new lifted status effect. As we said before, channeling mods will also be changed to support the new system, as well as providing a larger pool of utility to choose from in your builds. These are the changes that are planned. Heavy attacks, alt fire for melee. So if you guys haven't gone and rebound that or figured out where you want to bind it to, heavy attacks can now occur at any time simply by pressing the alt fire button while you have melee equipped in your hand. This costs all of your combo counter affected by mods, so make sure you lay down the hurt. If you don't have any combo active, you will still use a heavy attack, but it will not benefit from any damage bonus from the combo counter. Now, for those of you guys who are unaware, they're actually going to do like a combo efficiency, so that way you're not using all of your combo counter, and that's like applied in mods. Then that's what they're talking about, affected by mods. Heavy slam attacks are jump and alt fire for melee. This new slam attack will create a new effect on targets known as the lifted status. When a target is lifted, it is held suspended in the air, allowing players to follow up on attacks while the target is held helplessly aloft. Again, if you do not have any combo counter active, this will act as a heavy slam attack without a damage bonus and minimal lifting status. It's very similar to kind of like the combos that you see with Baruch's ultimate, where they get like lifted in the air and they just kind of dangle there. Now, they say that you can juggle off of this, and there are a couple mods that I believe, is it mods or is it arcanes? It might be arcanes or something along those lines, where you can get bonuses from hitting the enemies in the air. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at weapon stats and mastery limits. With this new change, there is a broad sweeping review of melee weapons and how they function with the new system. Mastery rank. Weapons have been reviewed to make sure that their function and power are aligned with an appropriate mastery rank, similar to passes made on primary and secondary weapons. Base damage. Since the combo multiplier will apply to heavy attacks only, y'all just said it will also apply to heavy attacks. So it looks like it's only going to apply to heavy attacks. The base damage of all melee weapons has significantly increased. Base range, ooh, and this hurts for a lot of people. I saw some people talking about this in a mission, and they're like, no, my crit path is dead. My crit path is dead. I know us Za users really love the range on that shit, but whew. Along with damage, range has also been increased to make sure you get the most chop for your buck. While the base range is being increased, range mods are going to have a different calculation applied to them. This is detailed in section 9. Mod and arcane channeling functionality. As mentioned above, any mods or arcanes with functionality tied to channeling have had their status altered to increase the lifted status, heavy attack damage, and combo counter multipliers. So let's go ahead and jump in to all of the different changes. And I'm kind of hopeful for this because I know that there are certain weapon types, like I see daggers and they're doing like general notes overall, so I'm kind of curious to see what they've given what basically. So universal properties, range increased for kick attacks from 1.5 to 2 meters, except for sparring weapons, which is increased for 2.5 meters. Combo duration increased from 3 to 5 seconds. Nice. All right. So, general for daggers. Parry angle is set to 45. Now, for those of you guys who don't know what the parry angle is, it's like this. It's like a wedge out in front of you at which you can block things. Follow through increased from 0.3 to 0.9. For those of you guys who don't know what follow through is, when you make a melee attack and it can hit multiple enemies. So let's say there are like 2 enemies in a row and you do like a slashing attack. And they're in there. Your first initial hit is always going to do 100% of the damage. The follow through is going to be the percentage of the damage that goes on to the next enemy. So you hit the first target for 100%, and then the next target is, specifically here, it was 0.3, so 30%. Now it's going to be 0.9, so it's 90% of your follow through will actually deal all of the damage. So let's go mastery rank 0 to 3, ceramic dagger. Damage increased from 35 to 140. Oh, it looks like they're kind of like giving us some chunkers. Range increased from 1 to 1.8. Status chance increased from 10 to 20. Critical chance increased from 5 to 10. They're trying to do something. Okay. Heat dagger. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 3. Damage increased from 45 to 14 impact, 76 puncture, 56 slash, and 62 heat. Oh, I mean, straight out the gate, they're trying to put some fire in it. Look at it. It's from 45, and its puncture is already 76 on its own, and then they got heat in there as well. Okay. Range increase from 1 to 1.75. I feel like some of these increases on that range still does not feel all that great. Status chance increased from 5 to 14. Critical chance increased from 5 to 14. Critical damage increased from 1.5 times to 1.6 times. Dark dagger. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 2. Damage increased from 35 radiation to 58 puncture, 36 slash, and 60 radiation. I'm seeing a lot of them kind of like adding all of these bonuses, like they're shifting around the IPS, and it works really, really well with condition overload because they did change that mod. So for those of you guys who don't remember, I believe it's a 120 bonus now instead of the original 60 bonus. It's 120, but it does cap out at 3 stacks. So it's still, I think it's a great trade-off. Range increased from 1 to 1.75. Status chance increased from 10 to 22%. Critical chance increased from 5 to 8%. This is making me very hopeful for some of the other melee weapons out there because we're seeing some bumps. The sheave. I know some of y'all really like this weapon. I know some of y'all really like it, and I hated it less after they gave it buffs. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 5. Damage increased from 45 to 270. Range increased from 1 to 1.7. Critical chance increased from 5% to 13%. Critical damage increased from 2 times to 2.1 times. The Karis, some of y'all really like this one too. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 6. Damage increased from 50 toxin to 30 impact, 84 puncture, 72 slash, and 87 toxin. Ooh, that feels sexy. Range increased from 1 to 1.75. Status chance increased from 10 to 26%. I'm almost curious to see exactly where daggers will stand after this, or if they'll still have any purpose, or if they buffed everything up to the point where it's like, okay, it still doesn't matter. Damage increased for the Rakta Dark Dagger from 50 radiation to 88 puncture, 62 slash, and 96 radiation. Range increased from 1 to 1.75. Status chance increased from 10 to 30%. Woo! Critical chance increased from 5 to 12%, and critical damage increased from 1.5 to 1.8 times. Now, dual daggers. General, the parry angle is set to 50. Follow through increase from 0.3 to 0.8. So if you notice, the single daggers had a 0.9, so a 90% follow through. This follow through has gone down a little bit more, but the parry angle is a lot higher. So mastery rank, we have the Fang, or 0 to 3. We have the Fang, damage increased from 30 to 108. Range increased from 0.75. Wow, they really were mean to the Fang initially. To 1.65. Status chance increased from 8 to 16%. Critical chance increased from 5 to 8%. Mastery ranks 4 through 6. We have the Okina. Let's see if this turns into something, because this wasn't really a thing too much. Damage increased from 40 to 140. Range increased from 0.75 to 1.7. Status chance increased from 15% to 20%. Critical chance increased from 5% to 16. That doesn't sound terrible. That might, garner a revisit. Mastery rank 7 to 9. Ether daggers. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 6. Damage increased from 45 to 224. If I remember too, Ether daggers had a decent slash stat on there. So, when status chance goes from 15 to 30%, sorry, I jumped ahead. Range increased from 0.75 to 1.75. Status increase from 15 to 30%, if it's still got a huge chunk of slash, that's gonna be nice. Critical chance increase from 5% to 10%. Critical damage increase from 1.5 times to 1.8 times. Then we have, oh please do something nice for the Fang. Do something nice for the Fang Prime. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 10. Okay, damage increased from 0.36, or from 36 to 178. Physical damage split now matches base Fang. Okay. Range increased from 1 to 1.75. Status chance increased from 5 to 26%. That's not bad. Critical chance increased from 5 to 26%. That's not bad either. Critical damage increased from 1.5 times to 2.6 times. Okay, we might have something on our hands. We might have to try out the Fang Prime. Okay. Fist, general, parry angle set 250, follow through increase from 0.5 to 0.9. Mastery rank 0 to 3, MK1 Furax, oh dear god. Damage increase from 35 to 90, range increase from, wow, they gave you a whole half meter from the range. They must have really not liked fist weapons from 0.5 to 1.25. And Kyros, I mean, I get it, it's just your fist and it's just like your feet and shit, but I mean, like, wow, they couldn't even give you a full meter. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 2, damage increased from 30 to 90, range increased from 0.5 to 1.25. Now we have mastery rank 4 to 6, which is the Furax. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 5, damage increased from 35 to 135, range increased from 0.5 to 1.25, status chance increased from 10 to 11%. They weren't trying hard on this one. Critical chance increased from 20% to 25%. Critical damage increased from 2 times to 2.3 times. I see where they're trying to go with this. They saved all the good bits for the different other variations of that. So we get Tekko, mastery rank increased from 2 to 6, damage increased from 45 to 160, range increased from 0.5 to 1.25. They're holding out for the good shit. So mastery rank 7 to 9, we have the Orthos Prime. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 8, damage increased from 38 to 128, range increased from 0.5 to 1.25, status chance increased from 15 to 16%. They really did not like the Orthos Prime, did they? They really did not want to try. Critical chance increased from 20 to 28%. Critical damage increased from 2 times to 2.4 times. Now let's see, the Furax Wraith. Mastery rank increased from 3 to 9, damage increased from 35 to 139, range increased from 0.5 to 1.25, status chance increased from 10 to 15, critical chance increased from 25 to 30%, not bad, critical damage increased from 2.5 times to 2.7 times, and the initial combo count is set to 20. Now, I'm still curious about what the hell that means, and maybe I need to go ahead and try that out and report back. But is it like forever 20? Or is it like 20 and then you use it up and it goes back down? Like, how does that work? Mastery rank 10 to 12. So we have the Orthos Prime. Damage increased from 56 to 180. Range increased from 1 to 1.35. So that actually, I believe, has the most range out of all of the melee weapons, which is only 1.35. Sparring, the parry angle set to 50 and the follow through increased from 0.5 to 0.9. That's the general. Mastery rank 0 to 3, Kogake. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 2, a whopping 2. Damage increased from 35 to 120. Range increased from 0.5 to 1.25. Mastery rank 4 through 6, Obex. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 4. Damage increased from 25 to 120. Range increased from 0.5 to 1.25. Mastery rank 7 through 9, we have the Haruto. Damage increased from 55 to 130. This is actually a juicy weapon. I like this weapon. Range increased from 0.5 to 1.25. Status chance increased from 5% to 11%. Critical chance increased from 15 to 30%. That feels like it's got a little extra oomph in it. I'm gonna have to try that one out. We have the Karuto. Damage increased from 61 to 193, and the range increased from 0.5 to 1.25. Then we have Master Rank 10 to 12. Damage increase for the Kogake Prime went from 70 to 242. That's nice and juicy. Range increased from 0.5 to 1.25, and the status chance increased from 34% to 38%. The Prisma Obex, the Mastery rank increased from 4 to 10. The damage increased from 25 to 150. Range increased to 1.25. I'm gonna be real with you. All of the fisting and sparring weapons, they don't feel like they got much juice in them. Like, there's a couple, like, highlights of, like, the fisting and sparring weapons, but I'm like, listen, y'all, with the limited range on those things, you gotta give them something a little juicy for us to really be like, okay, we're gonna trade that in, you know, for our big cleaving ass greatsword for like these things, but we'll see. I could be a lying hoe bag and fall in love with them completely. So claws, the parry angle is set to 55. The follow through is increased from 0.5 to 0.8. So the mastery rank is 4 through 6 Venka. Mastery rank increased from 3 to 4. Damage increased from 37 to 140. Range increased from 0.5 to 1.75. I hope that they do something cool with the Venka Prime. Ripka's mastery rank increased from 3 to 5. Damage increased from 55 to 173. Range increased from 0.5 to 1.75. Then we have a mastery rank 13 to 15. Please be good, Venka Prime. Mastery rank increased from 8 to 14. Damage increased from 55 to 118. Range increased from 0.5 to 1.8. Status chance increased from 15 to 24. Okay, now we talking. Critical chance increased from 25 to 32. Okay. Critical damage increased from 2.5 times to 2.6 times. I will take it. I will take it. I'm happy with that one. I want to see how the combos feel now, because there was a couple combos, I think in Vermilion Storm, that just felt a little T-pose-esque, if you know what I mean. You know that spinning one where you're like, boom? I'm like, that feels kind of weird. Hopefully they smoothed that one out a little bit. So mastery rank 7 through 9, we have the Ninkandi. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 8. Damage increased from 45 electricity to 90 impact and 100 electricity. Mastery rank 10 through 12, we have the Shaku. Ooh, they're going to bump this to mastery rank 10? Okay. Mastery rank 10, damage increased from 55 to 180. Status chance increased from 25 to 34. And critical chance increased from 75 to 18%. That might not be terrible. We have the Ninkandi Prime coming in at mastery rank 10 to 14, and the damage is increased from 54 to 234. We're gonna have to play around with that one, see how that one feels. Did they not get a range boost at all? So the Nunchucks didn't get any kind of range boost. Okay. Kind of sad, but Warframe's general parry angle set to 55, follow through increase from 0.6 to 0.7. Yo, you gotta give us I love me a Warframe. Give me some more. Give me some more range on that. Give me some, like, in general. Okay, we have mastery rank reduced. That hurts. from 10 to 8. Damage increased from 50 to 160. Why couldn't you buff this up a little bit more? I really like the Gunsin. This feels like a betrayal to me. But they did increase the range from 0.5 to 1.7. Now we have Gunblades. This is the thing. Somebody had mentioned it in the comment section where they're like, they fucked up my Redeemer. So I don't really know because I haven't played with it yet. But Mastery Rank 4 through 6. Oh, the parry angle for this one is set to 45. So damage increased from 60 to 180. Range increased from 0.5 to 1.7. The status chance increased from 10 to 22%. Critical chance increased from 5% to 10%. And the critical damage increased from 1.5 times to 1.8. Mastery rank 7 to 9, Sarpa. Damage increased from 70 to 160. Range increased from 0.5 to 1.75. Status chance increased from 10 to 28%. Yo, we were running with that condition overload build on the Sarpa. If anybody's tried that condition, like I put it out a while back, the condition overload Sarpa is a beast. Let me know, because that's a large jump in the status chance, man. Critical chance increased from 5% to 14%. Critical damage increased from 1.5 times to 2 times. This does not seem bad at all for the Sarpa. Okay. Mastery rank 10 through 12, we have the Redeemer Prime. Okay, so the damage was increased from 80 to 212. The range increased from 0.5 to 1.75. The status chance increased from 28 to 30%. And then the critical chance increased from 16 to 24%. So it seems like a general buff statistically. I mean, like, I'm going to throw kind of like the damage out of the window and just look at the statistical portions. But for anybody who's been using the Redeemer Prime, have you guys been seeing some sort of issue? Because I did see that somebody in the comments yesterday was not very happy with what they did to it. Let me know. Rapiers general, the parry angle was set to 60. Nice. Follow through is decreased from 1 to 0.7. That's rude. That is rude. Mastery rank 7 to 9. We have the Destreza, one of the prettiest weapons in the game. Damage increased from 75 to 158. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Okay. Status chance increased from 5 to 14%. Critical chance increased from 20 to 28%. Nice. We have the Endura. Damage increased from 95 to 200. Where am I coming up with these numbers in my brain? Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increased from 25 to 36. Okay. Critical chance increased from 5% to 10%. Sexy. All right, what we got for the Destreza Prime? Damage increased from 76 to 170. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increased from 18% to 20%. Not massive. But the critical chance went from 24 to 32%. I'm excited. We have Glaives. As a general note, self-damage has been removed from the Glaive power throws! Y'all, for those of you guys who don't know, the Glaives were the last holdouts for me on self-damage weapons. That's the last thing I was keeping. I was like, you know what? I'll still play with you because it's just a general rule. Rob is so good at killing things that if you give him the ability to kill himself, he will do it. It will happen. So I've avoided self-damage weapons for a long time because, listen, I'm just good at the whole, killing shit spree. So I'm going to end up hurting myself too, but it's nice. Thank you. As this decision made it through the testing pipeline, some mentioned this impacts a specific chroma interaction. Bye. But positively impacts 41 other Warframes. More specifically, the power throw mod has been changed to not create explosions when hitting an object or enemy on its last bounce. It solely offers a punch through addition. I never really... I feel like I kind of did use that, though. I feel like I kind of did use that. Oh, alright. Well, we'll see how that plays out. We have the general. Parry angle is set to 55, and the follow-through is increased from 0.5 to 0.7, and that's actually pretty good with Glaives because you can do, like, punch-through things. So we have... But maybe that only affects... I wonder if the follow-through only affects melee swings and not necessarily throwing it. If you hear that in the background, I optimized my Warframe. Actually, we're going to have a quick intermission. We're going to say, Warframe, shut up! I optimized it. That's why I'm actually reading this to you, because I was going to do the Massateer review. And then I was like, let's optimize this and let's go ahead and read it. And then, you know, 20 hours later. So, we have Mastery Rank 0 through 3 for the Kestrel. Damage increase from 35 to 84. Range increase from 0.5 to 1.2. We have Glaive. Damage increase from 45 to 105. Range increase from 0.5 to 1.25. Status chance increase from 10 to 12. Oh, please let them buff up the Glaive Prime even more. It's going to make me happy. Critical chance increase from 10% to 12%. And then we have Mastery Rank 4 through 6. We have the Orthos. Damage increase from 70 to 195. Range increase from 0.5 to 1.3. Status chance increase from 15% to 18%. Critical chance increase from 15 to 18. Now, there's another line I haven't read it yet because I'm curious as to what's going to happen to its little lifting moment. Block plus alt fire throws the glaive that will suspend enemies. That's what we wanted to know. Block plus alt fire. So you got to block and alt fire to throw the glaive that suspends enemies. Cool beans. Moving on, we have Mastery Rank 7 to 9. We have the Serrata. Mastery Rank increase from 3 to 7. Damage increase from 44 Toxin to 19 Impact, 36 Puncture, 52 Slash, and 76 Toxin. That's not half bad at all, especially with Condition Overload being as juicy as it is now. Range increase from 0.5 to 1.25. Now we have the Falcor, which this was a favorite for a lot of people when it came to throwing weapons. Damage increase from 78 to 230, range increase from 0.75 to 1.3, and then the status increase went from 28 up to 34, which is nice. The Halicar. Yo, how many people actually use the Halicar? And tell me, for those who've not looked closely at it, it looks like a dick. It's like a dick and balls. Just like a really bent one, you know? We come in all shapes and sizes, and apparently the Halicar comes in bent dick shape. Damage increase from 45 to 149. Range increase from 0.5 to 1.2. Status chance increase from 20 to 29%. Critical chance increase from 10 to 17%. Still not going to use it. Path Assist. Damage increase from 82 to 262. They're like, it's fine the way it is. We're leaving it. Alright, so here's the Glaive Prime. Mastery Rank 10 through 12. Damage increase from 50 to 164. That doesn't feel like it's big. Range increase from 0.5 to 1.25. And critical chance increase from 15% to 22%. That's not bad. That's not bad. I wish it got a little bit more of an oomph because I love the Glaive Prime so much. Now we have the Nikanas. Yo, this is going to be a long video. General, parry angle is set to 55. Follow through increase from 0.6 to 0.7. So we have Mastery Rank 4 through 6 Nikana. The damage increase from 45 to 142. Range increase from 1 to 2.5. Nice. Okay, that's a nice increase. Status chance increase from 10% to 16%. Critical chance increase from 10 to 16%. So we have Mastery Rank 7 through 9 with the Dragon Nikana. Damage increase from 85 to 188. Range increase from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increase from 15 to 22%. That's kind of nice. Critical chance increase from 15 to 22%. Whoo! I wonder what the Riven disposition on this baby is going to look like, because we know Dragon Nikana's got a pretty juicy one. Mastery Rank 10 through 12, we have these Shkajati. Damage increase from 77 to 1.7 or to 175. Range increase from 1 to 2.7. Nice, okay. Status chance increased from 27 to 30%. Critical chance increase from 15 to 19%. They're just slight adjustments. Critical damage increase from 1.9 to 2.1. That sounded crazy. 1.9 to 2. No, that's right. Slam radius increase from 3 to 6. Now we have the Nikana Prime. Mastery Rank increase from 0 to 12. Nikana was 0? Mastery Rank 0? I guess it's because they didn't get around to actually giving them levels. But damage increase from 95 to 198. Range increase from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increased from 20 to 28%. Critical chance increased from 20 to 28%. And critical damage increased from 2 times to 2.4 times. That feels sexy. Two-handed Nikana's parry angle has been set to 55. Then we have the Mastery Rank 7 to 9. We have Tatsu, damage increase from 96. to 214. Range increase from 2 to 3. Okay. Status chance increase from 23% to 28%. Critical chance increase from 11 to 16%. And then the critical damage increase from 1.9 to 2 times. All right. Now we have Sword and Whip. Ooh. This gets my soul because I love Sword and Whips. So, general, the parry angle is set to 60. So we have Mastery Rank 7 to 9. We have the Lacera. Damage increase from 80 electricity to 12 impact, 36 puncture, 66 slash, and 100 electricity. That's what we wanted from a status weapon, bitch. That's what we wanted. We got the IPS put into place. We got the slash as the dominant function. We have the electricity in there that you can combo with into some corrosive so you can slash at the bodies and slash at the armors. Okay. We got range increase from 1 to 2.5 and then the critical chance increase from 2.5 to 5%. I mean, really, that's like nothing, but sure, why not? We got the Mios, damage increase from 80 to 177, range increase from 1 to 2.5, and then critical chance increase from 15 to 19. That feels like a shame because I really like the Mios. Now it seems like I might like the Lacera a little bit more. Mastery rank 10 through 12, because the Mios and the Lacera has always been fighting for a place in my heart. And I'm like, I always lean toward the Mios. But now with this, the Lacera, oh, that was like a visceral reaction when I saw that IPS spread. We have Mastery Rank 10 through 12 with the Jetkusar. Mastery Rank has been increased from 10 to 11. Damage increased from 80 heat to 79 impact, 13 puncture, 45 slash, and 81 heat. That's respectable. That's respect. We can work with that. Range increased from 1 to 2.4, and the status chance has increased from 5% to 19%. All right. All right, I see you. You might just, might have to check you out a little bit. We got Tonfas. I forgot that Tonfas existed. Parry angle set to 60. Mastery rank 0 through 3. We have the Cronin. Damage increase from 65 to 130. Range increase from 1 to 2.5. Critical chance increase from 5 to 10. Still don't care. Mastery rank 4 through 6. We have the Boltus. Mastery rank increase from 2 to 4. Damage increase from 85 to 176. Range increase from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increase from 25 to 28. Nothing major. Critical chance increase from 5 to 6%. I'm curious to see what they do to the Telos version. We have the Oh Ma! Damage increase from 100 electricity to 76 impact, 38 slash, and 110 electricity. Okay, I mean, we'll condition overload that bitch. Range increase from 1 to 2.5. I don't feel bad about that at all. Then we have Mastery Rank 10 through 12. We have the Telos Boltus. Mastery Rank increase from 8 to 11. Damage increase from 85 to 210. Range increase from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increase from 25 to 35. All right. Critical chance increase from 10 to 20%. I might just care about you more now. Mastery Rank 13 to 15. We have Orthos Prime. Oh, please save this weapon. This was so mediocre and so bland and boring. Give it some life. Mastery rank increase from 8 to 13. Okay, they're doing something. Damage increase from 66 to 212. Range increase from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increase from 24 to 34. Critical chance increase from 12 to 22. We'll see. We got a lot of polearms. Holy shit, this video is long. General parry angle is set to 55. Follow through is reduced from 0.8 to 0.6. Oh, wow. This is where it hurts. Okay. We have Orthos. Damage increased from 50 to 175. Range increased from 2 to 3. Status chance increased from 15 to 18%. Critical chance increased from 5% to 6%. Tonbo. Damage increased from 80 to 184, range increased from 2 to 3, and they were like done. Moving on, we have the Guandao, one of the most beautiful weapons in game. Damage increased from 90 to 202, critical chance increased from 22 to 28%. Yeah, I'm waiting for that Guandao Prime where they like bump up its status chance too. I'll take it. Castawar, damage increased from 70 to 188. They're like, we're not fucking around with any of these polearms. They're already strong enough as it is, so we ain't trying to do nothing. Sidon, mastery rank increased from 2 to 5. Damage increased from 75 to 225. Range increased from 2 to 2.9. Then we have the Sero. Mastery rank increase from 2 to 6. Damage increase from 75 electricity to 96 slash and 138 electricity. Oh, they're pushing this weapon. Wow. Okay, range increase from 2 to 3. Status chance increase from 25 to 26%. I got really excited, but it was a 1% increase. Critical chance increase from 5% to 8%. Mastery rank 7 through 9, we have the Kesheg. Wow, I forgot that that weapon existed too. Damage increase from 105 to 241. Range increase from 2 to 2.9. Status chance increase from 10% to 23%. Oh, you got my attention now. Critical chance increase from 0.75 to 19%. That might be a thing, you guys. I don't know why I broke that up into 2 parts, but might be a thing. Pupil Assist. Damage increased from 90 to 284. Range increased from 1.5 to 2.7. And we are done with that. Lesion. Oh, I got a friend who loves the shit out of this. So, crossing my fingers for them. Mastery rank increased from 7 to 9. That's a good sign. Damage increased from 100 to 237. Range increased from 1.5 to 2.7. Status chance increased from 30 to 37%. And critical chance increased from 5% to 15%. It's juicy. It's juicy. Pick up your lesions today. Mastery rank 10 through 12. Vacor Sidon. Mastery rank increased from 8 to 11%. Or 8 to 11. Damage increase from 85 to 213. Range increase from 2 to 2.9. Status chance increase from 25 to 33%. Critical chance increase from 15 to 21%. And critical damage increased from 2 times to 2.5 times. I like the Vacor Sidon, just so that you guys know. It's one of those ones I reach for. Radial Blind now triggered by block alt fire at full charge. Okay, so block alt fire tends to be the little solution to things. We have the Orthos Prime. Orthos Prime was extremely bland. So I wonder if they're going to do something to make this sexy. Mastery rank increased from 2 to 12. Damage increased from 65 to 234. Okay. Status chance increased from 15 to 36%. Wow. Critical chance increased from 10 to 24%. And critical damage increased from 2 times to 2.2 times. We're going to have to dust off that Orthos Prime. Like, I mean, listen, I get it. It got a lot of range. But it did not really have the, like, supplemental stats to support it. From 15 and 10 to 36 and 24. That's juicy. All right. Let's go into staves. So we have parry angle set to 60. We have mastery rank 0 through 3. MK1 bow. Damage increase from 45 to 90. Range increase from 2 to 3. No one cares. Mastery rank 4 through 6. Bow. Again, nobody cares. Mastery rank increase from 0 to 4. Damage increase from 50 to 140. We have the Amphis. Mastery rank increase from 0 to 5. Damage increase from 55 to 130. Range increase from 2 to 3. Status chance increase from 10% to 21%. Critical chance increase from 7.5% to 13%, and critical damage increase from 1.5 times to 1.7 times. That actually feels serviceable. That feels like something you could use. Then we have the Torpedo. Mastery rank increased from 3 to 6. Damage increased from 50 to 124. Range increased from 1.5 to 3. We have mastery rank 7 through 9. We have the Broken Scepter. Ooh, that maybe they'll do something sexy with the Torpedo Prime, because I felt like that was kind of boring too, right? Mastery rank 7 through 9, Broken Scepter. Mastery rank increased from 5 to 7. Damage increased from 60 to 179. Range increased from 1.5 to 2.9. Again, no one cares about that one. Mastery rank 10 through 12, Bow Prime. Okay, baby, what do we got for you? Mastery rank increased from 5 to 10. Damage increased from 70 to 176. Status chance increased from 25 to 32. Okay. Critical chance. This is where it gets sexy. Critical chance increased from 12.5% to 24%. And then critical damage increased from 2 times to 2.6 times. Yes, we're going to have to pick up that baby. We got Torpedo. They didn't do nothing interesting with the Torpedo Prime. They're like, leave the ore paddle where it is. They don't need to do nothing. It's perfect. Damage increase from 76 to 170. Range increase from 1.5 to 3. I'm sorry, Torpedo Prime. It's going to be Bow Prime all day, every day now. Scythes. We have parry angle set to 60. I like me a good Scythe. Too bad the follow through was reduced from 0.8 to 0.6. I feel like now they're having a lot of the follow through kind of go in with like the smaller weapons. Like the daggers had the 0.9. The sparring, was it the sparring or was it the fisting? That was a 0.92. Interesting. So we have the Anku, which I actually really like. Damage increase from 70 to 170. Range increase from 1 to 2.8. I don't like it as much as I like everything else now, though. We have Ether Reaper coming in. Mastery rank increase from 3 to 4. Damage increase from 65 to 180. Range increase from 1 to 2.7. Status and chance increase from 15 to 20. Critical chance increase from 15 to 20%. Nothing crazy there. We have the Cost Assist. Damage increase from 75 corrosive to 17 impact. 71 puncture. 69... I see what you did there, DE. One of my favorite statuses, and you put it at 69. Okay. And 103 corrosive. Oh, that's going to be juicy with condition overload. Range increase from 1 to 2.9. Are you noticing, too, that some of these scythes actually have very similar ranges to some of the polearm weapons? Status increase from 30 to 37%. Critical chance increase from 5% to 9%. They have the hate. Oh, this is an OG weapon. I wonder if they give it some love. Damage increase from 70 to 230. Range increase from 1 to 2.8. Status chance increase from 15 to 20%. Critical chance increase from 20 to 30%. It's not bad. It's not bad. We got Reaper Prime. Oh, this is an OG Prime too. Mastery rank increase from 2 to 10. Damage increase from 75 to 200. Range increase from 1 to 2.8. Status chance increase from 12 to 25. Okay. Critical chance increase from 20 to 35%. Critical damage increase from 2 times to 2.5 times. That's going to be a good feeling to pick that. Maybe you could do a visuals pass on the Reaper Prime. It's feeling a little old looking, but now you gave it like a nice shiny new moment. So please, if you could. Heavy Blades. The parry angle is set to 55, and the follow through increase from 0.2 to 0.6. Wow, okay. Wow. We have the Gram. Damage increase from 100 to 160. Range increase from 1 to 2.8. I don't think that they'll address attack speed in this, but the Prime needs a little bit of love. Sindo. Damage increase from 100 to 200. Range increase from 1 to 2.6. The Galatine. Damage increase from 125 to 182. Range increase from 1.45 to 3. Mastery rank 4 to 6, we have the Dark Split Sword, the Heavy Blade version. Damage increased from 90 radiation to 60 puncture, 52 slash, and 100 radiation. Again, big fan of that. Range increased from 1.45 to 2.8. Sweet. Zenistar. Now, I know a lot of people are really curious about this. Damage increased from 130 heat to 80 impact, 68 slash, and 50 heat. Oh, they're putting it right in there. Okay. Range increase from 1 to 2.6. Status chance increase from 25 to 30%. Critical chance increase from 5 to 10%. There's going to be some happy people. Oh, okay. This duration is now a base of 10 seconds. I know some people were going to be angry about that, but it's increased by the combo multiplier. I mean, I'm sure some people are going to see that as a nerf, and I can't blame them. Mastery rank 7 through 9, we have the Sindo Prime. Mastery rank increase from 4 to 8. Damage increase from 130 to 250. Range increase from 1 to 2.7. Status chance increase from 15 to 24%. Critical chance increase from 20 to 26%. And the critical damage has increased from 2 times to 2.4 times. That doesn't seem so bad. We have the Paracesis. Damage increase from 144 to 222. Range increase from 1.45 to 2.9. And the status has increased from 12 to 22%. That's one that I'm going to have to revisit, because I said that the status chance on it previously was really holding it back. So to get a nice status chance boost, like, I'm interested. War, the damage increased from 40 to 250. Range increased from 1.45 to 3.2. Okay, nice range on that one. Status chance increased from 20 to 26%. Critical chance increased from 20 to 26%. And the critical damage increased from 2 times to 2.6 times. All right. Oh my god, the Galatine, my baby! Galatine Prime, damage increase from 165 to 280, range increase from 1.45 to 3, status chance increase from 20 to 26%, critical chance increase from 20 to 26%. We're gonna have to play with that. That's it's an oldie but a goodie, you know? Damage increased for the Grand Prime, 180 to 300, range increased from 145 to 2.9, and still slow as fuck. Hammers, the parry angle is set to 50, follow through has increased from 0.2 to 0.4. So we have Fragor at damage increase from 115 to 200, not too much there actually. Range increase from 2 to 2.5. Then we have the Magistar, damage increase from 80 to 210, range increase from 1 to 2.5. Then we have the Jack Tag, the damage increase from 130 to 200, and the range increase from 2 to 8%. They really are not trying to fuck with any of these hammers. They're like, we're not doing much with these. We got the Cybear, damage increased from 130 cold to 70 impact, 20 puncture, 50 slash, and 160 cold. So really, it's just impact beating out slash by a little bit. You could probably push that. Range increase from 1 to 2.6, and the status chance increase from 10% to 30%. Oh, you gonna want to push that slash and make this a slash viral, baby. That sounds kind of good. We have Mastery rank 7 through 9. We have the Heliocore, damage increase from 140 to 280. The range increase from 2 to 2.5. Status chance increase from 2.5 to 12. Critical chance increase from 25 to 38%. We'll have to play around. Wait, they have the Cynoid Heliocore, but the stats are like weird on that one too. So we have the Sancti Magistar. Damage increase from 120 to 240. Range increase from 1 to 2.6. Status chance increase from 10% to 20%. Critical chance increase from 20 to 30%. Alright. Volness. Oh, I love me a Volness. Alright. So we have, oh, they didn't do too much to it. You saw my level go from here down to here. I was like, oh, okay. The damage increased from 100 to 220, and then the range increased from 1.8 to 2.9. I mean, that's nice, but again, they're not trying to do too much with these hammers. Damage increased from 130 to 259 for the Wolf Sledge. Range increased from 1.5 to 3.1. That's a nice little range there. We have Mastery rank 10 through 12. We have the Arcatitron, aka the Titty Hammer. The damage increased from 180 to 360. Range increased from 2 to 2.6. Here's the one. Cynoid Heliocore. This is the one where you don't have to scan shit, right? One of these was the one where you didn't have to scan. I think both of them you didn't have to scan shit. You just had to kill shit. I like these. Damage increased from 120 to 280. Range increased from 2 to 2.6. Status chance increased from 20 to 40%. And then the critical chance went from 10 to 16%. The initial combo count set to 20. It's another one of those that have the unique initial combo counter. Fragor Prime. I'm really looking for the range here because the range was wimpy. Mastery rank increased from 7 to 12%. Damage increased from 130 to 270. Range increased from 1 to 2.6. 2.6. Status chance, which is, decent. It increased from 10% to 18%. Critical chance went from 35 to 40. Oh, them red crits. And the initial combo count is set to 30. Whew! We have machetes. Damn, how much more do we have when it comes to these melee weapons? I didn't even realize how many we were going to cover. We're literally almost an hour to this. Parry angle is set to 55. So we have Mastery rank 0 to 3. We have the Kama, damage increase from 45 to 90. Range increase from 1 to 2.4. Status chance increase from 2% to 10%. Critical chance increase from 5 to 12%. Critical damage increase from 1.5 times to 1.8 times. I wasted my breath on a whole lot of shit that people don't care about right there. Machete, damage increase from 25 to 120. Range increase from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increase from 10 to 15. Critical chance increase from 5 to 10. Again, nobody cares. Prova, damage increase from 35 electricity, 52 to 52 impact, and 76 electricity. Range increase from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increase from 10 to 16. Critical chance increase from 5 to 14. Critical damage increase from 1.5 to 2 times. Now, we have the Gazelle Machete. This one's actually really pretty. Damage increase from 52 to 178. Range increase from 1 to 2.6. And the status chance is increased from 25 to 30. we have the Kreska. Why don't I remember what the hell the Kreska is? I'm sure I own it, but I don't remember what it is. Damage increase from 70 to 190. Damage increase, range increase from 1 to 2.4. Then we have the Nami Solo. Mastery rank increase from 0 to 6. Damage increase from 35 to 172. And the range increase from 1 to 2.5. We have the Prisma Machete. Damage increase from 25 to 193. Range increase to 2.5. Status chance increase from 10 to 31%. That's a big jump. Okay, I see you're trying to do something, sir. Critical chance increase from 5 to 15%, and the critical damage increase from 1.5 times to 1.9 times. All right. Prova Vandal. Mastery rank is increased from 3 to 8. Damage increase from 48 electricity to 80 impact and 118 electricity. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Status chance went from 10 to 32%. Okay. Critical chance increased from 5% to 14%. Critical damage increased from 1.5 times to 2 times. Now we get to the good stuff. We got the Machete Wraith. Mastery rank went from 1 to 11. Damage increased from 45 to 211. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increased from 10 to 33%. They're really trying to do something with these machetes. Critical chance increased from 5 to 19%. Critical damage increased from 1.5 to 2.1 times. They're pushing. They are pushing. Alright, so we have Sword and Shield. General, the parry angle has been set to 70%. So we have the Silva and Aegis. Damage increased from 35 to 98%. And the range increased from 1 to 2.5. We have the Aken Brunt. Damage increased from 50 to 149. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Mastery rank 10 to 12. We have the Cobra and Crane. Damage increased from 100 to 296. Physical damage changed from 90% impact to 10% puncture, 70% impact, and 30% puncture. So they shifted it a little bit more into puncture. The range increased from 1 to 2.6. Critical chance increased from 10% to 15%. We have the Sigma and Octantis, which is a weapon I really love, and I'm sad they didn't do more with it. But the damage was increased from 60 to 174. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Then we have the Silva and Aegis Prime. Damage increased from 120 to 318. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Whew! Status chance increased from 25 to 30%, and critical chance increased from 15 to 25. That actually feels pretty nice. Now we're at swords. Yo, we have to be in the home stretch here. We have to be in the home stretch. It's got to be swords and dual swords, and that's got to be it. So we have General, the parry angle is set to 55%. We have Mastery rank 0 to 3. We have the Skana. Y'all know how they did us good for the Lado Prime. I'm hoping that they do something good with the Skana Prime, please. The Skana damage increased from 35 to 120. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increased from 10 to 15%. We have the Jaw Sword. Damage increased from 44 to 120. Range increased from 125 or 1 to 2.5. Status chance increased from 10 to 18%. Critical chance increased from 5 to 16 or 5 to 6. Wow, you can tell this video is taking a toll on my body. We have the Cronus. Damage increased from 35 to 106. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increased from 10 to 18%. Critical chance increased from 5 to 6%. They didn't really give too much shits about that weapon. Heat Sword. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 3. Oh my god, Dagger Prime. Please do something good with the Dagger Prime. Alright. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 3. Damage increased from 35 to 147. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increased from 10 to 20. And that was the Heat Sword. We have the Pangolin Sword. There's a lot of swords we don't care about. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 3. Damage increased from 37 to 150. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increased from 10% to 22%. Critical chance increased from 5 to 8%. Alright. Now we're moving on to Mastery rank 4 through 6. Wow, they're really doing these in small steps. We have Plasma Sword. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 4. Damage increased from 35 electricity to 34 impact, 12 puncture, 88 slash, and 66 electricity. That's not going to be terrible for condition overload if you're at like a low mastery rank. Then again, at low mastery ranks, they probably don't have condition overload, so that's moot. Range increase from 1 to 2.5%. Status increase from 15 to 18%. Critical chance increase from 15 to 18%. They're like, fuck it, just make it the same shit. Meyer. Mastery rank increase from 0 to 5. Damage increase from 35 to 23 impact, 23 puncture, and 47 slash, and 65 toxin. They just went ahead and built that in automatically. Range increase from 1 to 2.7. Status chance increase from 10% to 31%. Ooh, that's nice. Critical chance increase from 5% to 9%. Moving along, Mastery rank 7 through 9, we have the Ether Sword. The Mastery rank has been increased from 0 to 7. Damage increase from 37 to 192. Range increase from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increase from 10 to 34%. Not if you're trying to do like a low build, like low level build, that's not bad. Critical chance went from 5 to 10%. Now we have the Dark Sword. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 8%. Damage increased from 35 radiation to 120 puncture, 60 slash, and 80 radiation. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increased from 10 to 40. Prisma Skana. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 8. Damage increased from 35 to 170. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increased from 10% to 16%. Critical chance increased from 20% to 28%. Critical damage increased from 2 times to 2.2 times. Then we have the Croaker, which I really liked, mind you. The Croaker was a little bit of a sleeper weapon. Mastery rank increased from 7 to 9. Damage increased from 70 to 217. Range increased from 1 to 2.5 times. And the critical damage increased from 1.7 to 2.3 times. I'm telling you, the Croaker is a sleeper weapon. Now we have Mastery rank 10 through 12. I'm seeing a couple things here, okay? So we got Broken War, damage increase from 90 to 187, range increase from 1 to 2.5, status chance increase from 10% to 20%, critical chance increase from 15 to 35%. Okay, Broken War is getting juicy. Critical damage increase from 1.5 times to 2.2 times. Ooh, if you liked Broken War before, you're gonna like it even more now. We got Dagger Prime, please. This is one of the most boringest old weapons back in the day. Let it be good. Mastery rank increased from 6 to 10. Damage increased from 60 to 170. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increased from 10% to 18%. Not bad. Oh! Critical chance increased from 15 to 36%. Critical damage increased from 1.5 times to 2.4 times. Okay. Dagger Prime just got really sexy. Okay. Now, Scythe Prime, I'm trying not to like look down there because it's getting my hopes up. When I see Dagger Prime, I feel like they did Dagger Prime good. Please, Scythe Prime, get the Lotto Prime treatment. Mastery rank increase from 0 to 12. Okay, that's a good sign. Damage increase from 42 to 210. Range increase from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increase from 10 to 26%. Okay. Critical chance increase from 10 to 26%. Okay. Critical damage increase from 1.5 times to 2.6 times. All right. Hold on. Let's do a compare and contrast. Okay. So this is 210. All right. This got a increase to 170, so this got a higher base damage. All right, the status chance is up to 26, so this is more balanced. The Scythe Prime has a little more balance than the Dagger Prime, and then the critical damage is higher. Okay, we gonna play with the Scythe Prime more often now. You gonna see me repping that Scythe Prime life, okay? The parry angle for dual swords in general has been set to 60. So we have mastery rank 0 through 3. Dual Skana, damage increase from 35 to 120. Range increase from 1 to 2.5. Y'all, you notice they left the Scythe Prime till the very motherfucking end. I feel like they recognized me. You see me, DE, and I see you too. Dual Skana, damage increase from 35 to 120, range increase from 1 to 2.5 times, status chance, or 2.5, status chance increase from 10 to 16%. Nami Skyla, mastery rank increase from 0 to 2, damage increase from 50 to 125, range from 1 to 2.5, status chance increase from 10 to 15, critical chance increase from 5 to 10, dual commas, damage increase from 42 to 96, range increase from 1 to 2.4, status chance, I feel like I'm getting like to the last bit here, so I'm like trying to barrel through. Status chance increase from 7.5 to 15%, critical chance increase from 5 to 10%, that's kind of prime buff, just got me juiced. Dual heat swords, mastery rank increase from 0 to 3, damage increase from 35 to 147, range increase from 1 to 2.5, status chance increase from 10 to 20. Dual Zoran, damage increase from 30 to 70, range increase from 1 to 2.3. Y'all, that's cold. Y'all, that's cold. The Zoran was there way back in the day for you, and you're not gonna give him more love? You jerks. Unless you make a dual Zoran Prime. We have Dark Split Sword coming up, and its mastery rank is increased from 0 to 5. The damage is increased from 35 radiation to 56 puncture, 28 slash, and 32 radiation. Range increased from 1 to 2.4. Dex Dakra. Damage increased from 65 to 142. The range is increased from 1 to 2.5. The status chance increased from 20 to 24. Critical chance increased from 10 to 16%. I mean, it was kind of sexy before. Like, its IPS was really good, but the status chance going up a little bit, the critical chance going up a little bit, it's not bad. It's one to watch. Dual Cleavers, mastery rank is increased from 3 to 5, damage increased from 35 to 157, range increased from 1 to 1.7. Dual Ichor, another way back in the day weapon. Damage increased from 35 toxin to 19 impact, 11 puncture. Ooh! 45 slash and 47 toxin. Ooh! You make that into a viral slash weapon, baby. That's gonna be good. Range increase from 1 to 2.3. Then we have the Dual Raza. Damage increase from 48 to 110. Range increase from 1 to 2.4. Status chance increased from 5 to 10%. Critical chance increased from 20 to 25%. Now, we got the Master or Dual Karas. Dual Karas. I don't remember that. Did they spell that right? That doesn't seem right, does it? Damage increase from 44 to 115. Range increase from 1 to 2.5. That's not spelled right, is it? Maybe I'm crazy. Twin Bastlock. Mastery rank increased from 3 to 7. Damage increased from 65 heat to 55 impact, 15 puncture, 55 slash, and 85 heat. Okay, remember heat now strips armor, so we got slash and heat, and we got condition overload on there. That's gonna be nasty. Range increased from 1 to 2.4. We have the Dual Ethers. Mastery rank increased from 0 to 8. Damage increased from 40 to 180. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increased from 10 to 28%. Oh, they're pushing this one. Critical chance increased from 5 to 20%. Critical damage increased from 1.5 times to 2 times. Ooh, they wanted that one to be a thing. Dual Commas Prime. All right, what do you got for us? Mastery rank increased from 6 to 8, damage increased from 70 to 160, range increased from 1 to 2.4, status chance increased from 20 to 25%, that's already juicy. Critical chance increased from 15 to 20%, ooh, that's nice. We got Prisma Dual Cleavers, mastery rank increased from 3 to 9, damage increased from 35 to 133, range increased from 1 to 1.7. And then we have mastery rank Twin Croaker. Is sexy as well if you have not tried it. Mastery rank increased from 6 to 10, damage increased from 70 to 250, range increased from 1 to 2.5. They didn't even try to fuck with its stats because they knew it was already sexy. Then we got the Nami Skyla Prime. Oh, I got a ribbon for this one. Is it about to be even juicier? I think it is. Damage increased from 60 to 180. Range increased from 1 to 2.5. Status chance increased from 30 to 1 to 34%. That's not too much of a bump. Critical chance increased from 20 to 22%. Again, not much of a bump, but it's a bump. Critical damage increased from 1.5 to 2 times. And then do we have whips? Is whips the last? Oh, we got the Zaws too. God damn. Okay. So we have whips, parry angle is set to 45. Then we have the mastery Rank 0 to 3, Lecta, damage increased from 45 electricity to 20 puncture, 25 slash, and 56 electricity. Master rank 4 through 6, we have Atarax. Master rank increased from 2 to 5, damage increased from 45 to 129. They got really boring with some of these, right? We have Skoliak, please don't be boring. Damage increased from 55 to 150, status chance increased from 15% to 29%, okay. Critical chance increased from 5% to 13%. We have the Galvacord, damage increased from 80 to 210. And then we have the Secura Lecta, damage increased from 75 electricity to 30 puncture, 66 slash, and 80 electricity. Oh, I'm in. Status chance went from 25 to 30%. Critical chance went from 5 to 15%. We gonna play. All right, so we're gonna finish this off with Zaz, hopefully. But we have the Bala in its dagger form. The damage is increased from 68 to 224, and the range has increased from 1 to 1.7. In its staff version, it's gone from 80 to 224. The Uthla, the sword version, has its damage increased from 72 to 224, and the range increased from 1 to 2 from 2.5. The staff has damage increased from 85 to 224. Sword for the Miwam, damage increased from 86 to 224, range increased from 1 to 2.5. Polearm, damage increased from 101 to 224. Scythe in the machete form, it went from 72 to 230, range increased from 1 to 2.6. The polearm, the damage increased from 101 to 248. They're really not buffing up the polearm ranges now. They're like, keep it, that's where it's at. We have the Dahat. The rapier version has the damage increase from 68 to 224, range increase from 1 to 2.5. Polearm, damage increase from 80 to 224. The conch, the machete version, has gone from 86 to 234. The range increased from 1 to 2.4, and the damage from the polearm version went from 101 to 250. The plague Kripath, its damage increased from 70 to 213, range increased from 1 to 2.5, then the polearm version went from 82 to 230. Plague Kiwar, the Scythe, the damage has gone from 79 to 309, that's a big jump. Range increased from 1 to 1.7, and then the staff variant has damage increased from 93 to 262. The Nikana version of the Stefan has gone from 72 to 226, and its range increased from 1 to 2.5. Then the staff version went from 85 to 226. The Ravvi, which is the machete version, the damage increased from 68 to 234. The range increased from 1 to 2.4, and then the hammer went from 146 to 252, and the Dakram went from 68 to 308 in the Scythe form. The Scythe is getting like a nice bump in base damage. Range increased from 1 to 1.8, and then the heavy blade, the damage increased from 146 to 286. So that is the rundown of all of the weapons that have changed. This is an hour plus long video. Good Lord, I am sweating too. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that in the background. You got some highlights. Let me know what the biggest buffs for you were. What are you really excited to use now that you heard on? I know that I want to go ahead and re-explore the Fang Prime. It's been a while. SANDR Prime always had a place in my heart, but now it's got an even bigger place in my heart. There are some weapons that definitely got a nice little polish to them. So go ahead and toss your favorite down in the comments below. If you made it to the very end, toss me a double percentage sign, because wow, you stuck with me for over an hour, and that means so very much to me. Thank you guys so much for tuning on in. Now, I gotta go jump back in game, do some other reviews and some other things and whatnot. I'm so tired, so I'm gonna get a drink and I'll talk to you guys later. So as always, love somebody, hurt nobody, and touch your body. Take care, you guys. I'll be back soon. Bye!